Hello everyone, myself Anubrata Sarkar and I'm welcoming you to Coding Tutorials by Anubrata Sarkar. So I have a really interesting news for you that this all content that you are seeing on or watching on my YouTube channel, like this videos. So I prepared an app in Android Studio, this software Android Studio, as you can see here. Let me show it to you also. Then it will be very clear for you. It's opening. I'm not teaching this to you. I'm just, this is an important announcement to show. So it's opening. It will take a bit time. So let's talk till now. Till then, there are four languages in the app. The name of the app is Appidum Coding Tutor. There are four languages in the app to learn. The four languages are HTML, then Java, then Python, and then C++. So these are the four languages to learn. So I think these are the most common and most popular and the most important languages. So as you can see, let me show you the screens. So the app will be like this, somewhat like this. I will announce it. I think app will be somewhat like this. This will be the opening screen, and then it will open. Here you will be able to choose your own languages, what you want to learn, and there what will be there. Now let's discuss what will be there. So there will be detailed expert design lessons. So there will be expert design lessons and over 35 lessons in every programming language. Means these all programming languages, these four programming languages. There will be over 35 lessons, and you'll be able to learn a lot from there, and you'll learn a full language. Then what will happen is that there'll be more than 80 quizzes for you, which will help you to practice, and the quizzes will also be like that. If you did one question incorrectly, then the quiz will repeat again to just show it to you that in the actual time you are correct, or and you are not wrong. So there's a review thing in the questions, so it will show you, it will appear again if you are not correct. So it's like that, repetitions are allowed, and things like that, interview questions, and yeah, my videos as well, you can see it on the app, and features like logging in, and features like there'll be coding decoder, I think, like this code editors, they'll be inside the app, so that will help you, I think. So let's continue to our today's task. So before that, let me introduce you to a new friend of HTML. Like we also do have friends of us. So HTML also have two different friends, and totally there are three languages. I think I have told you: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So actually, I think we have all got an intro to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, all these three languages, but we have learned HTML till now in details, not fully in details, but somewhat we have learned HTML. And today I'm going to introduce you to a new friend of HTML. Guess what? CSS. So let's don't talk and move forward. Let me make this image small. Yeah. Okay, so CSS. So in this class, it will be our intro or our introduction to CSS. Like in the last class, I think I have taught you style attribute. I think it was yesterday I did that. I made that video. So it was on a style attribute, or the style tag, not the style tag, the style attribute, which we can use in any of the tags to design it. So as I have told, in the next class I will do, means in this class I'm doing CSS in details, not in that much details, but let's start. So before starting this, before learning the proper definition, let's understand, before memorizing the definition, let's understand what is CSS. You see, in Google, in any website, I'm using Google because I use the search engine. So in any website, you see the background colors, the images, the links. When we hover on the link, the background gets highlighted. When we hover on this, the background gets somewhat white. When we click on this, not clicking on, that's the work of JavaScript, sorry. So making it round, making it centered, making it with this border, with this corner radius, clicking on this makes this flat. So like this, and all the designs you see, clicking on this makes it makes it underlined, and like this, clicking on this, hovering on this, so when I hover on this have somewhat borders. I think you can see here somewhat white borders like this. This all are the work of CSS. So it's a great and a cool stuff. It's a cool programming language. Okay, so what is CSS? The full form of CSS is cascading style sheets. Again, with me, cascading style sheets. CSS, cascading style sheets. So cascading style sheets or CSS is used to format the layout of a web page. With CSS, you can control the color, font, the size of the text, the spacing between elements, how elements are positioned and laid out, what background, images or background colors are to be used, different displays for different devices and screens, and screen sizes, and much more. So it defines the position, it defines the font family, it defines the font color, it defines the background color, it defines the background image, and anything you can say about style, because you know, when I'm coding here in Sublime Text, let me show it to you. When I'm coding here, what's happening is that in this example.html, so not with space. Okay, so here, as you can see, I'm gonna type some code here. A little bit of code. So here, what I'm gonna do is, okay, so yeah, okay, so here I'm gonna type a p tag. Inside the p tag, I'm gonna type I am a paragraph. Paragraph. So I'm a paragraph. When we're running this, what we are expecting to see is that we're gonna see an empty paragraph, which we're gonna see a paragraph saying I'm a paragraph, like this, with no design colorless. If life was like this, I wouldn't have any fun in my life. Life would be colorless like that. So to make it colorful, to make a life colorful, there is something. To make this website colorful, there is the friend of HTML, CSS. So this cascading style sheets is used to do different things like changing the font sizes, font colors, font families, the colors, the background images, and many more things. So let's start. Using CSS. CSS can be added to HTML documents in 3 ways. So there are 3 ways of adding CSS to any HTML document. Inline CSS, that is by using the style attribute inside HTML elements, but like what I taught you in the previous class, inline CSS, that was inline CSS, by using the style attribute inside the HTML elements. So I told you how to use the style attribute, I think, inside the HTML elements. Next is the internal CSS, which is by using a style element, the style tag element inside the head section and coding for the CSS. And external CSS is by using a link element to link to an external CSS file. The most common way to add CSS is to keep the style in external CSS files. Like what we do, why we do is that changes the file in just one go. The most common way to add CSS is to keep the styles in external CSS files. So that's what websites do. Different websites make CSS files separately and keeps them and hosts them in a link. And what happens is that they connect the link with the HTML file to show that, so that the website load is not so high. Because what happens is that the more the data is on the website, so if we do internal CSS, then there will be a lot of code in one document, in the HTML document. So if we manage it with a link, so what will happen is that the website load time will be less, and the users will be able to use it more efficiently. So however, in this tutorial, we will use inline and internal styles because this is easier to demonstrate and easier for you to try it yourself, because external CSS will means it's very hard. So yet I will teach you here what is internal CSS and how to use it. So I think I forgot the top tip. So the word cascading means that a style applied to a parent element will also apply to all children elements within the parent. So that's not like parent, children, my parent, I, and then so like that, that's not the matter. Here parent means like a div tag or a body tag is a parent, and inside that a p tag, it's a children. Understood? So the body tag, which is holding the children tag, which means the p tag, the body tag is the parent of the p tag. The p tag is the children of the body tag. And the HTML is the wholly the parent tag of the full HTML document. These all are the children of the HTML tag. So the word cascading means that a style applied to a parent element will also apply to all children elements within the parent. So if you set the color of a body text to blue, all headings, paragraphs, and other text elements within the body will also get the same color unless you specify something else. I think this is like DNA. It is transferred from parents to children. So like that, if you apply something to the body, like if you say the body's text color will be blue, then inside the body, all the children of the body will, their text color will also be blue. Let me show you an example. Like that, you will not understand. Let me show you an example. I think you can see Sublime Text here. Okay, so let me save this file. eg2. Oh, sorry, eg2.save as eg2.html. So, like this. Sorry. So, like this. So, just like this. So, from here we are going to start. And what we're going to do is that, what I was saying. Oh, yeah. The body tag is the parent here. And inside that is a children, like the P tag. This is a paragraph. And the heading tag. This is a heading. Okay, so firstly, let's see the preview. We are expecting for a small heading and a paragraph. So I think I did with this, but I think it didn't work. Okay, so save as eg2. So let me try to open it with say for another. Oh, I think yeah, eg2.html. So this file we are expecting for this. This is a heading. This is a sorry. This is a paragraph. This is a heading like this normally. So what if we decorate this? How to decorate this? Let's see. Yeah, it's coming. Okay, so how to actually make this to children's of the body? Let's set their colors to blue in one go. How to do that? If we do both for each, then it will take a lot of time. Like this style for both we will do what I'm gonna say. So like this, if we do, it will take a lot of time. Like this, if we do for the heading as well, it will take us a lot of time. If you're doing an actual project, it will take a lot of time, because if there's 100 tags inside this, P, H1, H2, 100 and thousands of tags and millions of tags. So what are we going to do? We are not going to separately do that, color this. It will cost us a lot. It will take a lot of time. So this is smart way. Style equal to in the body. So this is all the children of the body tag. It will take the DNA of the body tag. Understood? So body style equal to, and then color blue. Not blue, violet, blue. Okay, so now save it. I'm expecting the result as this. This is the result. Now, in one go, we are doing for the two. So that's how to work in real life projects. So that's how it is done in real life projects, like this. Okay. So now inline CSS. An inline CSS is used to apply a unique style to a single HTML element. So like what we told now is that we did an example like the CG2. What if it's like that? Let me open it with Sublime Text. Yeah. What if I am working on a company and my boss is telling me, no, I don't like the color blue. I want one to be with the red color and one to be with the color of aquamarine. Now what to do? Now we can't tell anything that, boss, I can only do it with blue color because it will take a lot of time. No, not like that. Let me show you the inline CSS for separate elements. not with just the child and the parent and the child. Let me show you for the separate elements. So P style equal to, in double quotes, between this we will write background color. Color means text color, color semicolon, and in between that we will write. So I think my boss told me first is red color, and then my boss told me, I don't remember, my friends. Yeah, Aquaman. Oh, I'm forgetting myself. So my boss told me that first we have to do red, and then second one Aquaman. Now let's run, and I'm expecting the result as this. So this is Aquaman in color and this is red color. So what we are doing is that we are changing it for separate things, and then you see that's the result. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is that let me go back to the PowerPoint presentation, and as you can see, a blue heading. So an inline CSS is used to apply a unique style to a single HTML element. And inline CSS uses the style attribute of an HTML element. So like I said that in the H1 style color like this. The following example set the text color of the H1 element to blue and the text color of the P element to red. As you can see, a blue heading, a red paragraph. So not this does not make it red. The color is red, color colon red semicolon, color colon blue semicolon, like this. This is inline CSS. Like this, we can apply it to many things like font family, like font hyphen family colon sans serif. So font hyphen size colon 72px semicolon, like this. Now internal CSS. Internal CSS. And internal CSS is used to define a style for a single HTML page. An internal CSS is defined in the head section of an HTML page within a style element. The following example sets the text color of all the H1 elements on that page to blue and the text color of all the P elements to red. In addition, the page will be displayed with the Aquaman in background color. So let's forget this. I want to tell you one more thing that I forgot to tell in the first part. So my app also has one extra feature is that it provides mentor review. Like you can ask a question and I will be able to answer it because it will come to my Firebase and I will answer it regularly. So do ask questions both in the app and in the YouTube channel. If you're getting stuck in any concept, please don't hesitate and please do write it in the comment section. I'll answer it as soon as possible. Thank you. So the example, doc type HTML head style. In the style, this is internal CSS. In the style section, body background color recommended. So let me show it to you, then it will be easier for you. So now our example will be like this. So my boss is now happy and wants me to try a difficult project. That's not a project, but yet like this. So he told me that. So let me tell you the story. Let me make the story first and tell it to you after I have completed this. So now my boss is telling me, so my boss is very happy with me and he's telling that he will give me a promotion and telling me that if you can do this, then I will make you, then I will give you a promotion. Okay, so done. So I'm very happy. I'm dancing, but I don't know what to do. Well, in this situation, what we will do is that this is a red paragraph. This is a blue heading. Additionally, we have to change the background color of, the background color of this body. So what we will do is that, I think, black. The color of the body will be black. So let's get to work now. Inside this head tag, there is the title tag. The title tag is ending here, and below it, we are continuing with a new tag named the style tag. Okay, so it's the style tag. Remember, it's the style tag. So inside the style tag, what we are going to do is that we are going to type the internal CSS. So the color of the body will be body. You can see body, then second bracket, and this two second brackets will appear. Then press one enter. It will align it very neatly and properly and very nicely. And inside this, you will type background color. Oh, I think I'm in slow motion, sorry. So background hyphen color, then colon, and then semicolon. And between this, we will type black. Okay. And after this body, we are going to change the color of the P tag. Clicking, means typing this P, you see, it's marked with a red color. It means it's identifying it as an element. So it is an element P. So this P, the color will be red. The H1's color will be blue. Sorry, blue. Now let's see the preview. Oh, I do think my boss will be very happy with me and will give me a promotion. So that's not the thing. I was just joking with you. That's not like anything like promotion here. So here, body, background color black, P color red, H1 color blue. So like this, we are setting the colors for different elements with inline CSS. Sorry, not inline CSS, internal CSS. So this is internal CSS. Inside the head tag, we are typing a style tag, and inside the style tag, we are typing these attributes. Okay. So like this. Now external CSS. So I left this with myself. So how will I teach you external CSS? Now my boss is very happy and he told that he will make me the head of the company and he will resign himself if I do this thing. What is the matter? What will I do? I asked my boss. My boss is telling me that you have to practice external CSS. You have to practice external CSS means you have to do things like that. This body, this P and this H1 will not be, this is just like junk here. So can we just clean the junk and pick it up and throw it somewhere else and make it work like before? Can we do that? I think we can do that. So let's see how we can do that. Let's make a folder for that. New folder. Inside this folder means the name of the folder will be CSS experiment. Experiment. Oh, it's in different lines. Okay, no problem. So take this EG2 here inside this and make one new file. New. Click on this. I think click on this text document and do one thing is that clear all this and type style.css. Then you'll be able to see that if you change a file extension, the file might become unusable. Are you sure you want to change it? Yes, I want to change it. Okay, so now it's looking nice. Style.css. Right click on it and click on open with, choose another app. And notice the Sublime text icon. So this is the icon of Sublime text. I think, yeah, this is the icon of Sublime text. Open it with Sublime text. So well, Sublime text also supports CSS. So it's showing that this file is not here. This file is removed from here. So what we will do is that we will close this file here from here. And what we will do is that we will open the file from here. We will right click on this, open with. Okay, more apps. Then Sublime text. Let's open it with Sublime text. Yeah, now it's all right. So I think link here after this title tag. Let's clear up this. So before clearing up this style tag, this will be our code for CSS. Now, one fun fact and a good news for you is that no extra work in external CSS. Just copy the internal CSS, just cut it and paste it in the external CSS and click on save. And cut the style tag and right here link ref style sheet type text / CSS and href is equal to href will be / style.css. / style.css means it's in the same folder. So it's getting it from /. So we have to provide one / for the file path, for getting the file path, and the name is style.css. That's why I'm typing style.css. Click on save and then open it. And I'm expecting the results as not this. Let me check. There's an issue, I think, in between. So /style.css. So let's make it like this, featuring style.css. Or let's do one thing which is very common to all of us. Let's take this thing, this file path, and paste it here. This file path, and then type the slash and then style.css. Click on save and then run this. And I'm expecting the results as this. Well, now my boss will be very happy, but still I am joking. Don't think it to be real. I'm just joking. Okay, so this is external CSS. I think you'll be very happy to know that you do not have to do any extra work in external CSS. The CSS colors, fonts, and sizes. Here we will demonstrate some commonly used CSS properties. You will learn more about them later. The CSS color property defines text color to be used. The CSS font family property defines the font to be used. And the CSS font size property defines the text size to be used. So now let me show you. Now I will teach you internal CSS. I will do this in internal CSS. Let's do it in EG2. Let's clear up all this. Let's delete the CSS file because we don't need it anymore. Let's delete this CSS file and let's bring it. No, let's keep it in the folder. Let's delete this style.css and let's let me close this. So now what I will do is that, so now I will use internal CSS. So the style tag here, and inside the style tag body, since then we will use second bracket, and inside this body, so inside this body we're going to type background color blue violet. Let's design it. And the P, let's change the paragraph font family. Let's set the font family to say serif. The font family will be serif. And let's set the H1 font family to be sans serif. These are the font families. And let's set the paragraph font size to be 32 pixels. And let's set the H1 font size to be 72 pixels. And now I think thing left is the color of the H1 should be white, while the color of P should be powder blue. And now I think border is left. So let's give a border to the paragraph tag. The border, we will use it like this. Let's go to the border. So this is the CSS border. So the CSS border, I think you all know what is border. So the CSS border property defines a border around an HTML element. You can define a border for nearly all HTML elements. For nearly all HTML elements, we can define a border. So this border's format is like that. Firstly, you have to type the border width. What is the thickness of the border? And then the border type. There are many types of border. The three most commonly used type is solid, dotted, and dashed. So these are the three most commonly used border types. And then the color of the border, like this here, powder blue. So here the border will be 2 pixels. The border's width will be 2 pixels, and 2 pixels. Here, let's say it will be dashed, and the color will be let's see, total white. And here the border will be 2 px dotted black. Okay. So now let's load this. Let's open this file. So now it's looking good. This is the red paragraph. You see the borders, and you see here the dotted lines, the dotted border. And here now let's introduce the concept of margin and padding. You know what margin is and what padding is? So margin is like these are the two things. So let's go to one more PowerPoint window. Let's open one more PowerPoint window. Let's go to plan presentation and let's delete these two things. And what we will do is that we will go to the insert tab and we will drag one more shape. And you see, so here, let's drag one more shape here. The more is the margin between these two, the more will be the distance. So the margin is of all the four sides, like this is the margin top, this is the margin right, this is the margin left, and this is the margin bottom. So the margin is the difference from other shapes. So from other elements, what will be the difference or what will be the distance between this and the other elements bottom? So that all depends on the margin. If the margin right increases, then the distance from here it will increase. If the margin left of this will increase, then the distance will increase from here. But if the margin left decreases, then the distance will be closer. And if the margin right increases, then also the distance will be closer. Like this, the margin will push it in the opposite direction. The more is the margin on the side, the more it will push it in the opposite direction. The margin is like the margin is like the repulsion property of magnet. So the more is the repulsion, means the more is the repulsion power, the more it will repel the substance. It will send it away. Like if a powerful magnet can even send some big iron nails, just it can throw it like this, like a natural human can throw it like this, it can even throw it like that, a strong magnet. So the more is the margin, the more is the margin on that side, the more it will push it in the opposite direction. So like this, like the repulsion property of the magnet. And what is the padding? So this is the border. The more is the padding, the border will be the same. The border will be the same, but the content will get smaller and smaller. The more is the margin, the more is the padding. So the padding can be also of all the four different directions, but the more is the padding, the more will the content get smaller, and the border will be of the same size. Like let me show you padding. Let me show you both margin and padding. Let's apply margin. So if we do margin, that means we are applying it to all the four sides. But if we do margin top or margin right or margin bottom or margin left, then we are applying it to some specific sides. So let me, in this case, I will go with margin, which will apply it to margin top, margin left, margin right, and margin bottom. So these are all the four sides. So let's type 20 pixels, and each one, let's make a padding of 10 pixels. This padding also have four different types: padding top, padding right, padding left, padding bottom. So this padding is the combination. This is the combo of the four. So you will see what is the padding and what is the margin. When opening this, you will notice that this is away from all the things. Means this is getting away. The more is the margin, the more it is getting pushed in the other sides. And you see what is the difference in this. So let me show you the light difference. Let's increase the padding of this. Let me show you what is padding. Let's increase the padding of this and let's see what happens. So the padding is 10 pixels. Let's set the padding to 50 pixels. You saw the border is getting bigger and the content is getting smaller and smaller, and this distance between the content and the border, this is increasing. This is the padding. The more is the padding, the more the distance will increase. Like this it happens. So I hope you have understood the concepts of margin and padding. Like this we can decorate different things. So if you have any query, you can ask it on the comment section of the YouTube video, and if it is on the app. So I think the app will be released on, I think, on 2022 March or April. So then if you are doing it on March or April, then I think you can go to the mentor section and you can ask a question. But if you're doing it now or before March or April 2022, then you better ask a question on YouTube. And so that's all about that. Let me read the chapter summary for you. So the chapter summary and what we learned from the chapter. So we have to use the HTML style attribute for inline style. We have to use the HTML style element to define internal CSS. You have to use the link element to refer to any external CSS file. So to refer to any external CSS file, we have to use the link space ref. So let me show it to you. I think I've already shown it to you. You can go back and see link space ref and then style sheets and then link slash CSS, like that. I've shown it to you how to do external CSS. You can go to the external CSS part and you'll be able to see about this. Use the HTML head element to store style and link elements. Like this, the style and link elements are all stored in the head tag. So use the CSS color property for text colors. Use the font hyphen family property for text fonts. Use the font hyphen size property for text sizes. Use the CSS border property for borders. Use the CSS padding property for space inside the border. So padding is space inside the border. It's just space inside the border. And the margin is the space outside the border. Use the margin, CSS margin property for space outside the border. So that is the proper definition. Padding is the space inside the border and margin is the space outside the border. So friends, that's the end of this video. I hope you liked the video. So I will release my next video soon, I think tomorrow. So I hope it will be on tomorrow and I don't know. So till then, bye-bye.